Have you noticed every time Anthony Joshua fights, Sky Sports and any other kind of reporter always has to ask the opponent, how are you going to feel fighting in front of 90,000 people at Wembley Stadium? How are you going to feel fighting in front of 80,000 people at the Principality Stadium, Cardiff, Wales? How are you going to feel with the Anthony Joshua fan base because he's so loved in the UK and rah-da-rah-da-rah? And I don't really know what it is that the reporter expects an answer for, other than, no, of course not. We're going to relish this opportunity. We love the UK fans, and this is going to give us motivation. It's the same response. So I don't know why Sky Sports and all these other journalists have to keep asking the question. But it's a good talking point for the fact that there's other things that Alexander Povetkin, trainer, gives an answer for, Irvin Kerper. Now, I'll get straight into his statement anyway, because he was asked about the 90,000 people. So anyway, this is what Irvin Kerper's response was, who is Alexander Povetkin's trainer, as I've just said. So anyway, I don't think 90,000 fans bothers Povetkin or makes some pressure for him. I think it makes a charge of myself, of Povetkin, gives some electricity. It doesn't pressure, it just gives more motivation. Personally, for myself, English fans are cool because they understand boxing. If the British guy loses in a fair fight, in a dramatic fight, they can receive that and approve the winner because everything was fair and they got everything they were coming for. So I really like the English fans. Last time out against David Price, I was satisfied because of the win, but of course Sasha made a small mistake. After Price got knocked down, he was going to push him, maybe finish, but he left the left hand lower than it should be. Any boxer in any division can get knocked down, but with the heavyweights, it happens faster and more often than in other divisions. When Sasha raises his hands in the ring, I'm happy in that moment. As any trainer, I have some criticism of him every time in the preparation, but I'm totally happy when he wins. He's really disciplined and a responsible person. All my life, the boxers I've seen in my career, I don't remember anyone who are more responsible or behaved so professionally as Sasha, being 100% involved in the process. I'm pleased and satisfied with how the training camp is going. We have a good group of sparring partners. We will do everything possible to get a win. So that is Irvin Kerper, his statement there. So as I said, I don't know why they have to ask that question. It's not like his trainer's going to go, you know what, we're really nervous about this fight. We don't want really to go there, but we kind of have no choice, and rah-de-rah-de-rah. We don't like the English fans, we're nervous about them in case they're going to throw beer on us or abuse us in the ring. We're really scared about it. Sky Sports, you know what I mean? I want to be critical of you, but you've been around long enough. Why are you asking these stupid questions? Because you know the answer. Even if Povetkin is nervous about it, even if his trainer is really unhappy and crazy nervous about it, he's not going to say, is he? Of course he's not. But it isn't really that point that I want to talk about. It's the other bits in here, which I totally agree with him, where he says that whenever a foreign fighter comes and fights the Brit, if the foreign fighter wins, as long as it's a competitive fight and we can see that the foreign fighter gave it his all and he wins, the British fans are always receptive. Always. Take Kell Brook versus Errol Spence Jr. as just one of the cases where Kell Brook, in his hometown, Sheffield, at his home football stadium, Bramall Lane, Errol Spence was pretty much abusing Kell Brook in the build-up at times, which is pretty out of character for Spence, to be fair. So Kell Brook is loved, not only in the UK, but certainly in Sheffield, and especially in that area, in that stadium of Bramall Lane. People were not necessarily happy with how it ended, because obviously Kell Brook, he got his eye socket broken and he took a knee. A lot of that was from the psychological issues from Triple G beforehand. But people look at that fight like I did as well, where Errol Spence was clearly losing up until that injury. Ultimately, it doesn't matter, okay, because in the end, Errol Spence won. But up until the injury happened, Kell Brook was landing what he calls his chocolate brownies, the big punches that usually fighters go down from. Errol Spence was taking them. Yes, he was hurting, but he kept coming forward. He showed a warrior's heart, and the British fans seen that, and they gave him a round of applause. They gave him a standing ovation for it because of his heart. And it will be exactly the same with any Joshua opponent as well. I mean, look at Povetkin versus David Price last time out. You see Sky Sports asking this question, Alexander Povetkin was performing in front of 80,000 people in Cardiff, Wales last time against David Price. David Price, okay, so 99% knew that Povetkin was going to win that one. But yet these same people are going to say that Josh was going to walk through Povetkin within the first couple of rounds. I think you're setting yourself up for a very disappointing night because Povetkin is tough. Very, very tough. Only ever lost one fight. He is crazy, crazy tough. For me, I wouldn't be at all surprised if this goes to points, in all honesty. But anyway, Povetkin was last here and he took on David Price. As I said, David Price, he's very, very loved. Okay, and Povetkin gave it his all in this fight. He got clipped and, okay, it was a knockdown. The turnbuckle saved him from hitting the deck. Povetkin kind of says that he stumbled. It was more of a stumble. But regardless of that, when he knocked out David Price, people gave Povetkin the respect. They didn't throw eggs at him, they didn't throw beer at him or anything like that. They gave him the respect to say, look, you know, you came, you saw, you conquered, well done. Okay, so English fans are not as bad as maybe some may have it. The boxing fans are not necessarily the hooligans of the 70s and 80s from football. Okay, but again, you know, as long as Povetkin comes and gives it his all, even if he goes out on his shield, he'll get a standing ovation. But unfortunately, there are a lot of people who see Povetkin and they kind of just see the fact that he's been done for PED cheating in the past. But they don't really know the full details of it. It's like a lot of people say that, you know, he had his world title opportunity against Deontay Wilder and he failed the PED test. He's a drug cheat. But they kind of don't realise that that fight should have went ahead. He was within the legal limit and the supplement that he was taking was legal. It wasn't on the ban list, but it was then switched to be put onto the ban list. It was being cycled out of his system and so on. So, of course, there's rumours for speculation to say, was he actually juicing? Of course, but legally, he won the case. He was deemed innocent. So people look at him as a drug cheat. But that is what it is. But Povetkin, he comes across as a nice guy. He really does. He doesn't come across as a trash talker. Maybe it's the English thing, but I've never ever heard Alexander Povetkin trashing anybody. I really haven't. He's got a very good team around him with the world of boxing and Andrei Rybinski and of course his trainer Irvin Kerper and many others. So again, he's absolutely correct when he says about the English fans. But of course he's going to say that as well. To be fair, he's not going to say we don't like the English fans, we can't stand them. Why? Because that's going to make people turn. And you see the whole thing with Joshua and Wilder beforehand. Had this fight been taking place, had Wilder had actually signed the contract and not bottled it, then I think that Wilder would have got a terrible reception from a section of fans because of the things that he said about the British public, as in it's the home of racist people and so on and so on. Okay, so he would have got a negative reaction because of that. So Povetkin's trainer, even if they don't like the English people, they're not going to say, we don't like the English. Of course not. They're going to say, we love the English. They're great boxing fans. Of course they are. Why? Please don't jeer us. Please don't throw egg and flour on us. Please don't throw rotten fruit before the hanging. Okay, please don't do anything like that. So, listen, again, it's all political responses. Of course it is. But as I said, I do agree with him that the British fans, if our guy, so if Povetkin comes over, puts on a great fight and chins Joshua or beats him on points, he's going to get the applaudits. He's going to get a well done. Okay. If, for example, Povetkin quite clearly dominates Joshua and beats him on points, but the judges give the decision to Joshua in a clear robbery, the English fans, as much as they love Joshua, will go, no, that is wrong. That is wrong. Okay. We don't like robberies, even when it's in the favour of our own. If it's a very, very close fight and there's some swing rounds, we can kind of go, okay, fine, but, you know, I'm not too sure. I don't really agree with it. But if it's a clear robbery, no. 90,000 people in that arena will be going at and blaming Eddie Hearn for corruption. They will be going at the judges. They'll be going at the referee saying, no, we love Joshua, but he lost that fight. That is how the English fans are. We are very, very honest. We're very passionate, but we're very honest. But anyway, that is his statement, as Alexander Povetkin's trainer's statement about him being possibly daunted by the 90,000 people. As I said before, Was Joseph Parker daunted by the occasion? No. Was Takam? No. Was Klitschko? No. Was Brazil? No. Opponents are not daunted by the occasion. The only person you could probably really point to might well be Charles Martin. Outside of that, I don't know why they keep asking this question. It's almost like they're asking this question, but what they're secretly saying is, you should be nervous. We want you to be nervous. We want you to be underprepared. We want you to be scared. We want you to fall apart. That's pretty much what it is that they're saying when they ask this question. But you're always going to get the same answer, even if Povetkin is nervous. But Povetkin's been around the block on several occasions in big, high-pressured arenas, stadiums, you name it. He isn't going to be nervous about this. Not one little bit. You drop your thoughts below, click that thumbs up, subscribe, catch you all on the next video.